You ever wake up one morning and realize your whole life has been rewritten? Like someone forged your story in ink you never touched?
That's what happened to me.
The air was heavy with the smell of metal, sharp and bitter, like blood drying on steel. I followed it into the guest room, the place my brother had been staying. Papers littered the carpet, slips, withdrawals, my name scrawled in black letters I didn't write. $20,000. Then $35,000. My hands shook as I gathered them up. It felt like my own signature had turned against me. But the room was empty.
His suitcase gone.
Clothes stripped from the drawers. Even the picture frames, our childhood frozen at the beach, our parents smiling, were ripped bare. On the pillow a note.
His handwriting. Rushed. Panicked.
Sorry, Alara. Morgan says we need a fresh start. Don't look for us. He was 40 years old. Not a boy running from curfew. Yet he vanished like a ghost, dragging my name and my savings into his escape. And before I could even breathe, Mom? It was my son, Julian, 12 years old, standing in the doorway, his hair a wild halo from sleep, his eyes taking in the wreckage. I braced myself for tears, confusion. But instead, he smiled.
Calm. Steady.
Don't worry, Mom. I handled it. Handled it? He pulled out a sleek black phone I had never seen before. With a few swipes, he showed me a woman's face. Beneath it, the name, Clara Vey. Warrants in 3 states.
Fraud.
Assault. That's Morgan, he said flatly. She's not who she says she is. I stared at him. How could you possibly know that? And then he told me how he tracked my brother's phone, how he copied his texts, how he dug through public records like a detective twice his age. His small hand scrolled through police files, court documents. He spoke with a certainty that scared me. Before I could even process it, there was a knock at the door. Firm. Rhythmic. When I opened it, 2 officers stood in the gray morning light. They told me my brother had been arrested 40 miles south, caught with Clara. The evidence was overwhelming. ATM cameras, forged signatures, escape routes. But I knew. That wasn't luck. That was Julian. When the officers left, the phone rang. It was my brother calling from jail. His voice was shredded, desperate. Alara, someone set me up. Someone close. They knew everything. Our route, the burner phones, even Clara's name. Who else could have known? I looked at my son. Silent. Watching me with those steady eyes. Later that night, I found Julian at the table, writing a letter. For Uncle Adrian, he said. His voice calm, almost kind. But when he went upstairs, I read it. And my blood ran cold. He forgave Adrian, but not really. The words were sharper than any threat I'd ever read. Prison has rules. Maybe they'll teach you what family couldn't. If you try to hurt Mom again, I'll finish what you started. You tied the noose when you forged her name. I'll just make sure it holds. I had to sit down. My son's handwriting, so careful, so deliberate, didn't sound like a child at all. It sounded like someone who had studied cruelty. And then the knock came again. Child Protective Services. A woman walked through my house, clipboard in hand, inspecting Julian. And he charmed her. Perfect room. Perfect manners. Perfect answers.
By the end, she smiled at me.
He's one of the most well-adjusted children I've seen, but I knew better. I'd read his letter. Days later, at the hospital, my brother whispered his last warning. Watch your boy. He knew before I even acted. Clara was scared of him, said he could see through her. I wanted to dismiss it. I wanted to believe he was just blaming anyone but himself. But then Clara herself called, spitting venom through the line. I know who tipped the cops. It wasn't luck. You think your son's innocent? He's not. Julian took the phone from me.
His voice was steady.
Cold. If you really knew anything, you wouldn't be calling. You'd be running. And then click. Silence. That night, I found his notebook again. Not homework this time. A chessboard. Every pawn promoted into a queen. The king trapped. No escape. I asked him what it meant. He looked at me and said, it's strategy. Pawns aren't weak if they keep moving forward. Family isn't what you forgive. It's what you protect. His eyes didn't belong to a child. They belonged to someone planning 10 moves ahead. And that's when it hit me. My brother may have betrayed me, but my son might be rewriting the rules entirely. So I need to ask you, because I can't ask anyone else. If you discovered your own child was capable of this, would you protect them? Or would you stop them before it's too late?